Hello, let's bring you back. Part 16. Going to put some strings on and have a look at the setup. The socket for the strap extension seems to have gone okay. It's a bit of a strange colour around it, but I'll show you that later. Okay then, so we just hook the small ball in that end. Yeah, you can't do this one-handed. Get some tension on it. It's come out the other end, by the way. Wind her up. We may be in luck with the action. Obviously, as all tension of all four strings go on, it'll pull the neck forward. I think we'll definitely have to file down the nut a bit, because it's going to be quite high action. Right, I'm going to do that with all four strings. Right, well, I decided we've finished in the garage, and fine adjustments needed to be achieved in a different environment. Still finding black marks all over it. So strings are on, strap holder is on, upside down, it's all. So I came out and thought, well, I better plug her in. Don't know if you can see the amp. And all I got was a horrendous buzzing and crap and no power or anything. So I thought, right, great. I obviously killed that socket. Take it out. So I'm taking it out, wiggling in it. Can't find anything. Figured I'd have to get a new socket. And then I just thought, I wonder, I don't know. I'll try a different cable. So I tried a different cable and it's perfect. It was the cable. So I've just got to go and dig out that crap cable and bin it now. It's one of the two only cables I have with an XLR one end and a jack socket the other end. So I'm so glad I didn't take everything out and start rewiring. So somewhere in that lot is the cable that I just realised was dead. Nope, that's an XLR to XLR. That's a jack, but it's the opposite way around. That was for a keyboardy thing. Somewhere amongst this lot, yeah, this one. So that's going in the bin. I don't keep cables, I don't repair them, it's not worth it. They're cheap enough to buy. Some of these cables I've had probably 20 years. So, well, that's that. So I'll just put the other screw back in that and we'll go back to the setup stage and try my strap and everything. Okay, so it plays, it works, strap button position, everything's fine. Now it's time to set it up. So just pretend it's fretted, it's all the same rules apply. Put my capo where the first fret would be. Fret it at about the 17th fret, and then with a feeler gauge check out how much gap there is, which you can't see. At the moment there's about 25 thou, and I want about 12. I think I'll go 12 to start with, because I definitely need to file down this nut and probably the saddles, but we'll start with the getting the neck straight as the relief where we want it. So I want 12 thou at around about the 7th or 8th fret, which I will achieve by tightening the truss rod, tightening it to the right, which will bring the neck down, the strings closer. Well, yeah, it will bring the strings closer, but I'm just trying to straighten the neck. I could do this with a straight edge actually, just a ruler, because there's no frets. But anyway, we'll try that. Right, so I'm basically going to find the end of the truss rod and crank this tighter. It won't take a lot. That was probably an 1/8 of a turn. At this point I'm thinking, if I had to if I could just stop filming so that I don't get everything wrong, if I had 2 capos, I wouldn't have to attempt to do this one-handed. So with that on there, fret it about there and then see what the gap is now. See if you can see. Right, that's a 12. Not far off. I'm going to try fretting it right at the end. I'm going to tighten that just a fraction, fraction more. I should have just used a ruler, a straight edge. I've got no frets to get in the way. I'll try again. I hope you can see this. Obviously there's no focus. I'm going to fret it up at the 21st fret. Okay, well that's 12 at the 5th fret. It's less than 12 at the we may be a bit too straight. Try 10, try 17th fret again. Go 17th square normally would be. Yeah, I've done that just a little too much, so I'm gonna stop you seeing what's going on. Alright, I'm gonna take it back a bit, loosen it a tad. Right then, that is about perfect for now. When I file down that nut, it's going to get lower. In fact, that's 10 thou. I wanted 12, didn't I? 12 to be safe. Yeah, that's good. Might be a tad low when I lower everything else. So there you go, that's the neck relief. Right, string height, which is going to be massive. I can tell just by looking at it. Well, strangely enough, if you went by sort of general spec from Fender or Gibson, this string action is actually in spec. You can't see it, makes it dark. It's 2.5 millimeters at the 12th fret. Way too high for me. I want 1.5 on this E string, and 1.25 on the G string. But before I do that, I'm going to do this backwards. Normally you just set up your string, do your action, intonation and everything, and then do your nut last. Well, this nut is absolutely massive, obviously because there's no frets, and I've got just about 1.5 millimeters, which is what, 60 thou, and I want 20 thou maximum, probably down to about 15 thousandths on a fretless, because you're not going to get any fret buzz. So I'd aim for 20 thou, so I'm going to file down this nut and just keep filing it and trying it until I get down to 20 thousandths and see what that does to it. Will take my action down a bit. Intonation is going to be all over the place because what we've done, and flat wound strings, the intonation will be different to round wound strings because they're different thickness, etc. So that'll all have to be done, and I'll probably be sanding down these saddles at the bottom to lower action. Right, I'm gonna play with this, keep filing it now. I can't do it on camera, I need to get on with it, so I'll be back in a bit. Right, this is needing a huge amount taking off it, so I am measuring it with my caliper vernier gauge. At the moment I've got 20 thousandths. I put it into imperial so I could work in thousandths on the nut. Yeah, sorry, 30. I've got 30 thousandths pretty much all across, and that includes some 2 or 3 layers of tape. So I'll need to get that down to about 20, and then when I take the tape off, it'll be whatever, 20-ish, 20 something. So I'm going to carry on with that because it's just boring. It's just a guideline, because obviously where I'm measuring with a feeler gauge with the strings on is there where you'd normally have your first fret, and it's the distance between the top of the fret and the bottom of the string, which I want to be 20 maximum. Well, obviously if it's 20 thou there, it's going to be more there because the string because the strings are sat up on the saddles, and there's you always get a slight bow in the neck forwards for your relief of 12 thou. So I keep doing this. What I'll do is occasionally I'll just put a string on, tension it and check it. There's no point putting all 4 strings on, because if it's too high with 1 string on, it'll be even higher with 4 strings on because there's more tension. Alrighty, I had to do it all off camera just so I could concentrate and get things right. We are set up, really. I've got about 23 thou there and about 20 thou there, so I can file the nut just a tiny bit more, but it's acceptable in the 80s. And I have got 12, well, I've got about 11 thou of relief, which is about normal for me, and I have managed to get about 1.6 mil of action. 1.6, yeah, about 1.6 to 1.75. It's near enough there, without having to shave off any of the. In fact, after I'd shaved all the nut and set everything up, I've actually picked up the saddles a tiny bit to get the 12-inch radius feel. I've actually slightly raised some of the saddles to get the height. I could have gone lower, but I didn't seem to be able to get the G string lower than 1.5. So what I've done is I've 1.5, 1.6, and I've raised, I could get all these down further, but I've raised these up to that. 1.6 is way lower than a general spec, and it's just about what I would have on a fretted bass myself. So we are there. I'm going to put everything away now. Oh, the intonation is, I can't do it one-handed. Anyway, the intonation is spot on all of them. I love my little pitch black tuner. It was a lot of money, but it's lasted me a lot of years, and it's been on stage a hell of a lot, so it's a credit to that thing. And it's really easy to see. It's got 4 modes, 4 different sort of displays in it. I like this one. So anyway, that's it for that. We are done. I might go indoors and have a cuppa and then sit on the amp and have a play now that it's set up. Not that I can play fretless bass anyway, but there you go. Righty ho then. It's finished. There you go. Yeah, all seems to be working. Intonation, everything's fine. Action seems fine. It's comfortable. I will at some point find one of those flippy up leg things for sitting down with. Some straps a bit long, but yeah, she works. I've not set up the amp anything like properly. We've got some octave going on the amp at the moment to try and get that chorusy 80s chorus. Without the chorus. No, I hope that didn't distort too much. So yeah, we are finished. I'm going to, well, finished for the sake of finishing. I will put a new jack in because I did slightly damage it. Not so it's not playable, but I will solder a new jack in. I'm going to repaint the retainer. I'll probably shave off a tiny bit more off the nut, and need to leave it to sit for about a week, because as it dries out, all the oils and things dries out, the neck will warp and bend, not warp, but it'll move. Everything will move and settle down, and I can do any little finishing touches like one I've just found there, tiny little bits of stuff that just need fettling, but to all intents and purposes Yeah, need to do something with the pickup covers. I had considered actually using some of my loads of veneers that I bought and actually making veneer pickup covers. So we may go there. It might look interesting. I've seen wooden pickup covers before, particularly on basses. So we might have a play with that, but it doesn't affect the actual overall. But yeah, it works. It sits nicely when I stand. Let's get you a bit further away. It hangs in the right place. So yeah, no problem. I play short scale anyway, so the one that turn it off. The one that I'm going to be building, that I am already building with Sam, or Sam's mainly building and I'll be tweaking, will be bridge nut like this. That single pickup I've got. It's got a jack shaped body at the moment. It's short scale, so it'll be that much shorter, so it shouldn't need one of these. Although if it were this shape and had one of these, it would just, that would be the last fret there, which would be actually lovely. So I don't think I'll be able to bring myself to make it cricket bat shaped, because Sam's putting a lot of effort into making it shaped. But I've got one that's this shape. Yeah, and when I change that jack, although it's working perfectly, when I change it, I'll get myself an XLR cable with a right angled end, so it doesn't hang down, especially with a bit of crappy old tape on it. Oh, blue underneath. These are very, very old cables. Right, it's not waffling springy. And of course, if you stand it up with the strap on, the strap has got a big thing sticking out the back which makes it locking. So if you're going to stand it, I will show you. There you go. Take the strap off, because that, obviously that sticks out the bottom. So take the end of the strap off and she sits on those little Dalek ears, nice and comfy. And then if you want, when it goes away, you can take off the extender, which I put loads of thread on. Well, I didn't, Chris did, who made it for me. I put a couple of just rubber O-rings on there so it would sort of lock it in place. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, there you go. Let's get it sat on its feet in a terribly lit house. There you go. I've got a case coming for it any minute. I've ordered a Steinberger Spirit headless bass case, which will fit this. There'll be a bit of extra room because the Steinberger Spirit has got a slightly fatter body than this. But yeah, I've got a case coming for it, so it will squeeze in there somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that'll be 6 plus the 1 Sam, that'll be 7. Yeah, I can put me. Anyway, she'll fit in there. Right, it is just about to start to rain, which is nice. Nearly night time, it's 7 o'clock. So that's finished, apart from a tiny little bit tinkering. If I do the pickup covers, I'll show that later. Probably just show you the result, because if I cock it up 12 times, you'll just want to see the end bit. So at the moment, I've got an empty cup of tea. Celebrate with a cigar or electronic vape stick. Must be going to be a full moon because the cats are acting really weird. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me and coming along the ride on this one. I've learnt loads. Learned a lot about soldering and electrics. I've learned a hell of a lot about wood finishing, and I've learned a lot of things not to do next time, which is what it's all about. And I'm happy with the result. It's playable, it works. I've done a few similar projects in the past years ago, but I've never gone to this extent to make it as good as I can. In fact, the last fretless bass I made, I burnt in a bonfire because the electronics defeated me, and I just got so wound up with it I burnt it. But there you go. Yeah, so I am not a luthier, I'm not a guitar maker, I'm a guitar tinkerer, I'm an average player. Yeah, anyway, thanks for joining me on this journey. Thanks for all your comments on the way, everybody. There's going to be a massive cat fight in a minute because two of these cats are just winding each other up. I've been Springy. Thanks very much again. See you soon. Tomorrow I need to hoover the whole garage out again because it's covered in everything, dust and just rubbish. And yeah, clear out the garage, tidy up, and get a bike out, probably clean it and go for a ride, and not do anything with basses for a while, apart from get my actual normal working bass out and practice the songs I should be practicing for the band. So there you go. It's probably been a really long one, but it's the final one. Cheers. I've been Stringy. I've been Stringy. My bass has been Stringy. I've been Springy. Peas and loaf. Alright, Luca. You fed up fighting now? He's chickened out. See you later.